I'm Steven Leon Lutz, gear specialist at Backcountry Edge.
And I'm Chris Horton, product guy at Osprey Packs.
And we're taking a look at the Poco child carriers from Osprey. As a dad who carried his 2 young girls out into the woods that he loved so much, I would have loved for you guys to have come to market with these a little bit sooner.
Well, as hopefully a future dad, I'm scared about not being able to get outside and hike and go backpacking. So that's kind of where these people are. Is like, you don't want to lose this passion of the outdoors. In fact, you want to give it to your children as early as possible.
Sure.
And that's really what the Poco came about, was making sure that people didn't lose that connection and be able to spread it.
So child carriers have existed for, I don't know how long, but they've obviously been out there. There's a lot more going on here than what I was used to seeing and what we were using. Maybe you can give us a little closer look at what makes the Poco so unique.
Yeah, I mean, the frame child carriers are kind of that new thing, especially when you're going outside. A lot more safety, a lot more comfort for both. But kind of the big trend for this is ventilation and then fit, both for the child and the adult. Now, for a lot of parents, one parent might be 5 foot tall. My mom is 5'1". My dad is 6'4". You know, they can use the same exact carrier. So you have a lot of good adjustability. It's basically a little simple cam, and it goes from extra small all the way up to large. And the same thing, we have an adjustable hip belt that you see on many of our adult packs as well. So real big, large adjustment range that you can do while you're on trail. So if you want to take turns carrying the baby and carrying the pack, you can do that right there. And then the child is completely safe inside the cockpit. The seats are adjustable as the kid grows. You can adjust make sure it's still safe and around. They've got a nice soft interior, a jewel pad that's removable because, well, the jewel pad gets drooled on.
I remember cleaning or trying to clean. It would have been nice to have one that came out.
Yep. So everybody's comfortable there, and then you've got a really good feature set. You have the store gear, hip belt pockets, and then on the back you've got a large main compartment down here, diaper bag, gear, food for the trail, and then extra pocketing here. This is the Poco Plus. There's also a Poco Premium that has a removable day pack and a removable diaper changing pad. But both of those come with a sunshade. You know, very important. Weather is extremely in sun. So you want to protect the kids from the elements. Basically, this pops out and buckles into the front side, and the kid is completely protected from the sun.
I can remember when our kids, especially at the smallest age, you know, as adults, we're thinking about bright sun, and that's when we grab for sunglasses or what have you. And with a small child and that sensitive skin, we used the sunshade almost every time we had it out to protect them, but we had to buy it separately for the child carrier that we had, so that's definitely a standout.
Yeah, definitely included. And then part of the adjustment range on here too is if you put the kid in a big down onesie, it's still going to fit the child. And you just check their cheeks and ears every once in a while to make sure they're warm. But
thinking back to when my daughters were younger, I remember being told to stay away from the frame child carriers until they could hold their head upright. Is there an age range or anything that Osprey suggests there?
Yeah, typically about 6 months, and I think like 16 pounds. Basically, you need them to be able to hold up their head by themselves. And that's one of the many milestones I'm sure you guys celebrate as a parent.
Sure.
But once they can hold themselves up, it's usually about 6 months, sometimes earlier, sometimes later, and then you can start using the frame child carrier. In the owner's manual, which I included, is kind of a really good step-by-step guide on how to use this, when is it appropriate, how big can they be. There's a standard 48.5 pounds max, and that includes all the gear. So you can haul around a 40-pound kid if you want to walk around on that. We'll try to get you in this later.
Yeah, stay tuned. That reminds me of another issue that we had, or at least something that we would think about as parents was, you know, between just how much weight, the stability, especially when we set it down, when we're, you know, loading our daughters in or out of the child carrier. Ours was collapsible, but it seemed almost a little rickety when it was opened up. Can you kind of speak to that on the Poco?
Yeah, I mean, the safety certifications have definitely changed, and these meet the latest and greatest. And it's a lot of focus on the industry. So there's a lot of regulations on when, you know, at what point this can tip. So it has to be a wide enough base. It has to have enough force to click this short. So when you want to put this away, that click, and this, so it's very stable. It's not just, I think it's 10 pounds of force, which is actually quite a bit. So there's a lot of regulations as far as how stable it is, when it can, how it can collapse, how big the child is, how big the openings are. So a lot of really good safety certifications around this, and we have beat them all and all over the world.
I also love how compact this is, how much it packs down. You know, thinking back to our old child carrier on the Poco, we could take this anywhere. Because of that, we could take our kids anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's super easy to collapse the foot bar, fold that in, and just kind of cinch it down. I mean, so throw it in the carrying case, throw it in the trunk. You can travel with it with an airplane, and now you don't have to worry about either destination travel, not be able to go out and hike or go around town, or even your local trails. So there's no reason not to share those places with your children. You might as well bring them along and very comfortably for both of you.